Doug, welcome to Halloween Daily. Welcome back, I should say. Thank you so much
Yes.
for talking to me today.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. This is the first official interview of my Michael Myers, so I'm very happy to be doing it with you.
Oh man, we are thrilled to have you here and to have this exclusive first, and so excited. Of course, as
Yes.
we're recording this, the movie has just been released. It's opening weekend. It's killing it literally at the box
Oh, dude,
office
it's
right now.
killing it.
I mean, breaking records. It's a huge hit
Oh
already,
my gosh.
and we love it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
awesome. We saw it opening night, and
Yes.
it just totally blew us away. And
Yeah.
can't wait to get your experiences from that set. I know it was a insane time for you, and this has got to be a super exciting time for you. I
Yes.
know we talked before in our previous interview about how much you love and celebrate Halloween itself, the
Yeah.
holiday,
Oh yeah.
and you do
Yeah.
now and always have since you were a
Yes.
kid. And we talked a lot about that in our first interview.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start tonight about talking about the Halloween franchise itself, because this is a big moment in a lot of ways for you, both career
Yes.
wise and also on a personal level. I know because we've talked a little bit. So,
Yes.
can you tell me a little bit about your fandom and your passion for the Halloween franchise and the character Michael Myers?
Yes, absolutely. Well, here's how it all started. Uh, there was this Costco-like place when I was a kid called Fedco, and my parents bought our first VCR there, right? This is the 80s. And it was apparently returned. Somebody returned the VCR. And this was like when you were a kid growing up in the 80s, like getting a VCR was huge. It was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, we could rent movies. We could watch movies with a VHS tape.
Yep.
Well, inside this VCR was Halloween 2. Okay. And I was like, oh my God, Halloween. I love Halloween. I would decorate the house. I made haunted houses as a kid and this and that. And I was like, I didn't know anything about the movie. You know, we didn't have social media and this and that.
Mhm.
And I watch it, my parents aren't around, and I'm fucking blown away. I am like, I watch it over and over again. I invite my friends over and watch it. And it just hit a chord with me. I don't know what it was, just the fact that it takes place on Halloween night, the mask, the
Mhm.
music, the acting, Dr. Loomis. Man, that guy, Donald Pleasance, he made me fear Michael Myers.
Yeah.
His performance was so amazing. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode,
Mhm.
those two together, and then the Michael Myers mask and everything, it just spoke to me. And ever since then, I've just been such a fan. And I would dress up as him, and it was hard to find like great masks at that time, but I would find masks, and I
Mhm.
had several of them over the years. Um, and then when I got into acting, I kind of always was like, I started to do these characters in makeup. I started at Universal Studios in high school, so I knew I wanted to be an actor, and that was my way to go. Hey, because I grew up in Los Angeles, I said, hey, where can I perform and
Mhm.
stuff as a job? And it was like, oh, Universal Studios. So I started there playing characters. So I played Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and Harry, and all these characters. And it never occurred to me like that I could actually play Michael Myers. But I got an audition for Freddy vs. Jason, right? As Jason Voorhees. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I was never a Friday the 13th fan. Of course, I saw it. I thought it was
Mhm.
cool. But once I auditioned, I was like, oh my God, I would love to play Jason.
Yeah.
So I got several callbacks. I didn't get it. And then several months later, they called me and said, hey, we're going to do a reshoot. We're going to reshoot the ending. And you were our second choice for Jason. So they shot the movie in Canada, and Ken Kersinger got it. And then when they did the reshoot, they shot that in LA. They hired me. for the reshoot. And after that, my career started to pick up. And then I thought in my head, like, oh my God, maybe I could play Michael Myers at some point. So I started to put it out there in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Like I started to envision it, you know? They
Mm-hmm.
say, you know, Tony Robbins and people say, hey, if you really want something, envision it. And that's what I
Yep.
started to do. And that was like, you know, that was like 2003, 2004. So, it, you know, it was one of those things where it's like, it was something exciting to me. I would love it, but you know, it obviously didn't happen and stuff. And then Halloween Returns comes up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Let's talk
Yes.
about that.
Yes. So I heard about Halloween Returns, you know, I didn't think much about it, but I was like, gosh, man, that would be like amazing. Cause I know Rob Zombie did his, he had his Michael Myers, that was already done. I wasn't going to get in on that. And then Sean Clark calls me and says, hey, listen, I put your name in because I was with Sean Clark as a signing agent because of Jason, you know, he's my friend. And he's like, I put your name in with Malik. I told him about you. They haven't hired a Michael Myers yet. And I got a meeting for you to audition. And I was like, no way, are you kidding me? Like my whole body just was like, this is absolutely amazing. I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
So me and him go to the thing. Marcus is there, Malik is there. I talk to Malik, I tell him, like, you know, what a fan I am, and like this is like the character that I've been like playing since I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, he was fired up because, you know, I knew the history, so he thought, oh, this is cool,
Yeah.
we like this. So he's not just a guy coming in auditioning, you know. So, you know, Marcus has me do a scene where I'm on an electric chair, right? It was part of the film because he was on death row, you know, and he has me going, and I'm like, and I'm going crazy, you know, my veins are popping and stuff. And then Sean's filming it, and then everyone's like, that was fucking, oh my God, that was amazing. So then me and Malik kept in touch about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I never signed a contract or anything, but Malik's like, you're my guy. You're my guy. You know, he never said you have the part or anything, but he's like, you're my guy. You're my guy. And I was like, that's all I needed to hear, right? And then time passed, and I was like, what is going on with this project? And it kind of faded away. And I was like devastated because I was like, oh my gosh, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I said, this is it. This was my opportunity. I'm never gonna get to play this guy. Oh well, you know, and you move on and you pursue with your career and stuff. And what I heard was that Harvey Weinstein, which we all know is a horrible person, he was causing all these issues, and he wanted to shoot the movie in Eastern Europe, and he wanted to change this, and he wanted to change that, and he didn't give a shit. Sorry, my French, about the franchise. He didn't care. He didn't know about it. He just was like, it's just a money thing. And Malik's like, we're not shooting in Eastern Europe. This is a Midwest film. It has to have a certain look. And he was causing all these issues. And Malik was like, you know what? I'm just going to let this contract run out. I don't want to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows what a piece of crap he is. And Malik was having to deal with that. You know, he had a horrible reputation, but he made movies that were successful. So, you know, they obviously, you know, did deals with him, but he couldn't take it anymore. So the contract ran out. That was it with Halloween Returns. So that was that experience.
And like you said, that, I mean, man, to be so close and to have it, I know you must have, you know, really felt that when they canceled it. I mean, as a fan, I know it hurt us when it was canceled because we were covering it. Everybody was excited. I mean, it was,
me too.
It was pretty far down the road from what I understand. I mean, the script was, I mean, they were close to shooting from what I understand.
Oh, it was going to happen, man. It was going to happen. And I was just like, I was beyond the moon. I said, this is it. So when it kind of faded away, I was literally devastated because I was like, all right, I mean, you know, I was there, and it's over, but but I guess it wasn't over, you
As
know.
fate would have it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
quite over yet.
Not quite over. Never say never, right?
Never
Yeah,
say never. Exactly.
yeah,
Um, Before we get to Halloween Kills, let's
yes,
fast forward a little bit. This was 2015 when all the
yeah,
Halloween Return stuff, it had been announced, it was in development, and then
yeah,
right at the end of the year of 2015, that's when uh, Malik split with Dimension, and the project was canceled at that point. So now let's skip ahead a little bit to
yeah,
2018,
yes,
and just as a fan, and as
yeah,
now we know as somebody that was at one point
yeah,
the guy going to be. I mean,
yeah,
and Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton, the writer director team that
yeah,
were making Halloween
yeah,
Returns, they've said it now publicly on
yeah,
the thing with two heads. Go
yeah,
watch the thing with two heads, but
yes, yes,
but
yes. Great,
but
great
they've
show.
said it on there that you were their guy, you were their
Yeah,
Michael,
yeah,
and so now 2018 comes. What
yes.
how
Okay,
what was your reaction
okay.
to that?
Okay, so let's reverse a little on 2018. So
Mhm.
I get a message from Sean, and I'm in Bulgaria shooting Hellboy,
Okay.
and my phone's not working. I'm not getting messages. And my wife calls me and says, "Hey, Sean's been trying to get a hold of you for several days, and you're not responding." And you know, obviously because she's texting me on WhatsApp, and Sean didn't realize I was out of town, and he thought I was ignoring him or something. And then finally, I was like, "Oh my God, Sean's calling me." Whenever Sean's calling me, it's for something good, right?
Yeah, right.
So Sean, I called him. He's like, "Hey, listen, I've been trying to get a hold of you. They're looking for the next Michael Myers." And I said, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Can you come to a meeting in the next couple days?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm in Bulgaria right now. I'm shooting Hellboy. There's no way I could leave." And
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh man, yeah, yeah. I was gonna get you in the door again." Now, David Gordon Green, he told me this. He said David Gordon Green wants somebody 30 years later to play the guy. So that would
Mhm.
be somebody in their 60s.
Mhm.
He said, "I know you're not in your 60s, but I still thought I would, you know, it would be good for you to get in the door." And I was like, "Really? Like, does it really matter? You know, if he's in his 60s, how's anyone gonna know?" And they said, he was telling me that, yeah, I think they're gonna do a reveal, you know, and you have to
Oh,
look
yeah.
like Michael 30 years later. And I was like, "Oh man." I started doing this. I was like, "No, oh my God, no, another opportunity." And I can't make it because I couldn't leave.
Mhm.
Like it's like a, you know, 17-hour flight, and there's no way
Yeah.
they were gonna let me leave, you know. So that passed, right?
Mhm.
And then you know, I chalked that up again. I said, okay, well, wasn't meant to be. And I saw the movie, and at first I was like, wow, that seems like a really strange team. Like I had worked with Danny McBride on Land of the Lost, and I was like, he was awesome. He's such a
Mhm.
cool guy. We had scenes together, and he was so fun to be around. But I was like, these guys, like, they're more comedy. Like, I don't get it. Like, why would they choose them? You know? And I said, there has to
Mhm.
be a reason, right? Well, they're
Mhm.
fans. They're fans. They understand the
Yeah.
history and this and that. They're not just getting a movie just to do it. So you know, now we know that and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so I watched the movie, and I was like, I thought it was amazing. You know, I was like 2018. I was like, this is, you know, this is freaking awesome. So I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, right?
Mhm.
So that's how all that played out, you know.
So
Yeah.
so oh man, and again, I mean, just to be so close, you could almost
Oh,
taste
dude.
it, you know. But I guess, I mean, there is some silver lining. I mean, you were in Hellboy, you know, you're working on Hellboy. I mean, there are some good, you know.
But I have to say though, I never really was into Hellboy. So when I heard Michael Myers, I was like, I would have left that day if they called me. I literally, if they said you're gonna play Michael Myers, I would said, you know what, guys, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike Mignola, I love you, man. He's the creator of Hellboy, but I gotta play Michael Myers. I told the makeup artist that was doing my makeup, I said, dude, they just called me for Michael Myers, and I was like, damn. He's like, who cares? You're doing Hellboy. I'm like, who cares? This is Halloween. What do you mean, who cares? I couldn't believe he said that to me. I was so upset.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
I was like, who cares?
Yeah.
So that was interesting, you know. I really appreciate Sean, because if it wasn't for Sean, I would have never gotten in the door on any of this stuff. So he is like he's such a cool guy, and he's such a fan himself. I mean, he's put on these conventions, you know, for years with Halloween, like keeping it alive, but for the fans, you know. So
absolutely, yeah, we love Sean, and everything that he does, and that 40 Years of Terror convention that we were at a few years ago was amazing. So now this brings us to Halloween Kills.
Yes.
So
okay.
how did you become involved with Halloween Kills?
So Sean and Chris Nelson are buddies now, right? I've known Chris Nelson for years. He is one of the best makeup effects artists in the business, you know. Definitely. Academy Award winner. We worked together on Bright, but I've known him for years before that. And, you know, he's a buddy, you know, and Sean is sitting with him and says, dude, you know, there's a 1970, James is obviously James Jude Courtney, who's amazing. Love James. Great Michael Myers.
Absolutely.
Just kills it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
There's a 1978 flashback, and they don't want to use James because they want him to be this Michael Myers, because it's different. His performance is way more vicious than the 1978. He's more aggressive, and they want to separate and have him be that guy and have somebody else be the original, right? And Sean is talking to Chris, and he says, dude, we got to get Doug Tate to play this. And Chris is like, I've already put his name in. You know, I've already talked to him. So Sean tells me about it, and then Chris calls me up. He said, hey, listen, I put your name in for this flashback. He couldn't give me much details about it, obviously, because, you know, of contract, you can't talk. He said, they're going to be calling you, so you know, just you know, I know you know Michael Myers and you're a fan, just do your thing. So they had the stunt coordinator, Aaron Armstrong, hire the Michael Myers, because he's going to be doing some action stuff and whatnot. And so he calls me and he's like, hey, listen, we're casting this, send me a tape, you know, do the movement, and then do some action too, so I could see that you could fight and whatnot. And I didn't know Aaron, and I've done stunt acting roles and whatnot. He's from New York, so I never knew him. Usually the stunt community, we know each other. You know, like it's a very small community, but he was from New York, so I didn't know him. So I went all out, man. I got my amazing mask, and I did my thing, and I edited it, and I put music in it, and I really put a lot of time into it. I was actually working up here on which I'm in Atlanta right now on a show, and I had their whole warehouse, and I had all these props, and I really went out, and I had people come in where I'd slam against the wall, and, you know, I really did it up, right? So because it was like, dude, this is like, I'm getting another opportunity. Let's go all out, right?
Yeah.
I added sound effects. I mean, I literally made this like a movie, right? And then I sent it to him, and he's like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, great. Okay, great." And then I don't hear anything, right? And I'm like trying to keep in touch with him. Hey, how's everything? How's it going, Aaron? Is it any word yet? And he's like, no, not yet, but you're definitely still in the running. And then, you know, more time goes by, and he's like, hey, listen, the role's already cast, but I'd like to bring you in for doubling James. You know? And then I said, and then I was like, oh, who's doing the 78? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And I said, oh, okay, all right. So he ended up doing the 78, and he was awesome, by the way, I have to say. I thought his performance was great. So he understood the character and he knew it. But I think that he understood what a fan I was, and like that I was good as Myers, and he was like, hey man, we're not going to get somebody better just to come in to do action for James. It's going to know the character like Doug, and we're pretty similar in size. I mean, I had to lose some weight. Chris was like, dude, don't be lifting weights right now, like lean out, you know. Chris had told me that, Chris Nelson. I was like, oh shoot, thank you. So I did that, and I'm like 1.5 inches taller than James, maybe 2. I was kind of, you know, but yeah, so that's how it all played out, man. It was interesting. Like, I was like, I really wanted to do that 78 Myers though, man, because that, I mean, to me, that part in the movie gave me the chills, dude. Because
yeah, it was really good.
Back to the kid, and like the storyline of like how he like how he, you know, he knocked the gun away. No spoilers here, but you know, like he could have, you know, ended it for him possibly, and he didn't. That was just like, oh, that would have been so great to do that. But you know what? I'm just happy to be a part of it, you know. Happy to be behind that mask.
Absolutely. So can you tell us how long you were on set and what scenes you worked on?
Yeah. So I only worked a couple days, and the only sequence I did was the SUV at the park.
Oh yeah.
So I step up on the SUV, you know, I'm walking around on it, and then I jump down off it. And then here's some really cool stuff. So David Gordon Green wants me to jump off the SUV onto the ground, right? There's a dolly track right in front of the SUV that the camera's going in on, right? And you know, when you jump, you land, and you're kind of like, your body goes down and goes up. Well, he wanted me to jump and be like stiff, where you're not even, and it's like, it's almost impossible, you know. And I could tell that he was like, yeah, can you just be a little more? And it's just like not humanly possible to jump from that high and just land like
just straight, completely.
Yeah, like straight, because it is Michael Myers, you know. So it's not, you know, it's a little different. So they ended up only using the shot in coming through the window out the car of me coming down. You know, they didn't do, like, they had other shots of it, so it probably didn't look anything, but yeah. And then I get rocked by Kyle Richards with the bag of rocks, you know, which actually really hurt, man. She nailed me so hard, and I was actually pissed, not at her, but just pissed because it hurt my head that I came and I grabbed her so hard and I slammed her against the car. I did it in a safe way, obviously. I wasn't like on her neck, but I was like, I was going off reaction of like how that felt, you know.
Yeah.
So it was that whole car sequence. James jumped in and he did stuff too, but we were both like tag teaming on stuff. They actually had 2 SUVs, so I was doing insert stuff. I was doing other stuff with that. So that was the sequence. That whole thing coming up, jumping on the car, coming up quick, jumping down, getting hit by Kyle, attacking her. It was all that, getting shot at in the car by the nurse.
Yep.
Yeah, the doctor. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that was it. That's all I got to do, because James is he's a stunt man. I mean, he's a very in shape physical guy who knows the character and does all his stuff, you know. He's such a cool guy, and I was happy to be there. And I understand as an actor who's played a lot of these characters that you want to do everything. You don't want some guy to come in and play your role, but James, I think James understood that I understood the character, because a lot of times, I don't consider myself a stuntman. I consider myself an actor first, but I'm very physical. And a lot of times when, they hire a stuntman, they're not really thinking about the performance behind it. They're just thinking about the stunt. And a character like this, you can't just come in and just, we've seen the other Halloweens where where they hire a stuntman, and I'm not going to name names, but the guy doesn't even he ignored what Nick Castle did, and he just comes in and he's just like, I'm Michael Myers, right? And you got to understand the character, and I think James saw that I was like, I'm a fan and I get it. So yeah.
So this is finally the moment, and those are some pretty awesome scenes, and I mean that's a great sequence in the film. I mean, now the film's out. I think we can talk a little more freely. Yeah. By spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, we'll talk a little more freely. It's out now, but those are some great scenes, and so you say that when Kyle hit you though, that was real rocks, and that
it wasn't rocks. It wasn't rocks. But what happened is they put these foam things in, and it looked weak. And David Gordon Green's like, guys, that looks like a bag of what did he say? He said, that looks like a bag of rags. Like, guys, we gotta have something that looks a little heavier. So they put in these. They put in something that had some weight to it. It wasn't rocks, because rocks would that could knock you out. But it was definitely had weight. And when it hit me, I had a bump on my head, man. I had a bump because it was hard.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it was one of those things where it stings you. It was like, oh God, what the fuck? Yeah. It threw me off for a second. And she hit me twice with it. So yeah, it was I don't know what they used, because the props department is doing stuff. They had to make it look heavy, and they put something in that had some weight to it. So I felt it for sure. I definitely felt it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And doing that the SUV scene, like you said. And I have seen a clip. I guess it was one of the behind the scenes featurettes that they put on YouTube. But I guess it's you doing that jump down. It's like a wide shot, and you can see them filming it, and it's Michael jumping down. And I didn't see it in the film, that angle, but that's in the behind the scenes. So that's you.
Yeah, Ryan Turek posted a picture, and it was actually me on top of the car recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But obviously, they're gonna give James. He should get all the props because he's the guy. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's definitely me doing that. Yeah. I just knew David didn't like it, because it's kind of a very awkward thing to try to do. And like I said, there was a dolly track there. I twisted my ankle when I jumped down one time, and luckily my ankles are so flexible because of basketball, because I broke them so many times that I started flexing them, so it turned. But yeah, I was jumping on a dolly track as I went down. It wasn't even like a flat area. So, but I didn't care. I was like, I'm Michael Myers, dude.
You're actually, third time's a charm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I will do whatever you need, you know?
Yeah. And now you're there, now you're in it. And knowing the original, I mean, those legacy characters that you got to interact with. Kyle Richards back as Lindsay Wallace. You got Nancy Stevens there.
Nancy
back
Stevens,
as Marion.
I was talking to Nancy. I said to her, man, you don't understand what a fan of Halloween 2 I was. And she told me that she didn't meet her husband on Halloween 2, that she had met, she worked on Halloween 2 and like they met in a completely opposite way. Her husband is the director of Halloween 2.
Oh yeah, Rick Rosenthal.
Yes, exactly. And it's just, I think that's why I love what David Gordon Green did. It's like he's a fan, so he's went out bringing these characters back that were in the original. A lot of people don't do that. They ignore that, which I think is a huge mistake because people want to see it. I appreciate that. I appreciate people going back because as fans, like having Kyle Richards in there, having Sheriff Brackett in there. And
oh God.
That's freaking amazing. The face.
Yeah.
You know, you recognize the face even though it's older and you're just like, oh my God, these people, they're, you know, killed his daughter.
Yeah.
Killed his daughter. You know?
And I thought
to it.
Yeah, and I thought they all did great. I mean, great performances. Great. I thought they tapped back into those characters 40 years later. Like, I thought they were just great. I thought.
I did too. I thought Nancy Stevens was great.
Oh,
and you know
man.
who I really like, and you know he wasn't a part of the original. They added him was the Lonnie character.
Oh yeah,
that guy is an amazing actor. He was in Midnight Mass. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm
Robert Longstreet. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Joe Colley in Midnight Mass. I was like, this guy is so damn good. I was like, who is this guy? I recognize him. And then I saw that he was in Midnight. I was like, oh my God, that guy's amazing. So yeah, I was very impressed, man. You know.
And I've talked in recent weeks actually to Carmela and Michael who played the doctor and the nurse that are in there too. And I've interviewed both of them recently, and oh yeah, they're totally awesome. Carmela McNeil and Michael Smallwood, and they both, I mean, had a great time getting to know them. But how were they on set? They seem like they would have been fun, and their characters are great. I really fell in love with their characters.
I love how David Gordon Green or whoever's decision it was to like, because they were so small in 2018. They were almost like dismissive in a sense, not as people, but as characters in a movie. And the fact that they added them as a bigger storyline, I thought that was so cool because I really enjoyed their performances.
I did too.
I really liked it. I like how they did the whole thing at the bar, and then you know, and then they become part of the whole thing and stuff. And they were so cool. And I actually have a picture with and what's his name? I forget his name.
Michael Smallwood.
Michael, I have a great picture with him with a knife in his eye. Me and him, me in the shaved coveralls. I'll send it to you, and you can put it in here if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were awesome, man. And you know, she's shooting at the window and stuff. And I'm in the car at that point when she's doing that. So I got the blast of her shooting, glasses flying around and stuff, you know. And then they had a stunt double where I kicked the door open and the stunt double goes like smashes to the ground, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were awesome, man. I love those characters. Those were so cool in the movie. I really enjoyed their performances for sure.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it was great talking to them before I saw the movie, and then it really paid off when I saw what they couldn't tell me about, you know. And then I finally saw the movie, and it was like, oh man, I really enjoyed it, because in just those scenes that they had, they were able to have real chemistry, and
chemistry.
they were just funny. And I love the stethoscope. I thought that.
Oh my God! Oh, I gotta go. Here, take the keys. I gotta get my stethoscope. And didn't that happen in 2018? I was like, didn't he go back to the house to get it?
Exactly. Yes.
And what's so funny is they were like, it was like, oh, she's the doctor and he's the nurse.
That was the other thing. I love that too.
I thought he was the doctor and she was the nurse, but it was like,
I thought that was a hilarious touch. That it's almost like if you didn't hear it, you missed it. But yeah, it was like when they said that, it was so hilarious.
Oh, I was like, oh,
I love that they play it completely straight too. And
they play it straight, and then like he goes to the bar and he's like, yo, I've heard of Michael Myers. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to tell you to calm down. And yeah, we've heard of that. We know about it.
And I thought that was smart too, just as an entryway into the legacy characters through these newer characters that weren't around 40 years ago and weren't around in the original movie, but here they are from 2018, and they're kind of our way into, you know, these legacy characters, which I guess for audiences younger than us, I guess it's a good way to explain to them the importance of these original characters, which for us, we're just already geeked on it, just knowing
we're already geeked on it, and we're already like into it. But like having like people that don't know the history like us, they're like, okay, now they're bringing us into the world of these past characters we know. Exactly. Yeah.
It was
like that.
I loved what they did with them and their interaction with the legacy characters and how that all played out, and of course all the Easter eggs, and again the stethoscope when he uses that as his weapon too. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, that was just that was one of my favorite parts actually.
I know. That's so awesome, man. Yeah, we're on the same page because we're fans.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I just enjoyed the film. I mean, now we can just geek out for a second as fans, but I mean, watching. I mean, I know James. I've interviewed him a few times. We've hung out a few times, off the record, off the clock, and we kind of keep in contact a little bit. So I mean, and we love James, and I think he really did embody the shape in 2018. But here, I feel like this is. I've been calling it all weekend. I've been calling it Ultimate Michael Myers. You know what I mean? Like that to me is the only way I can really describe it. This is the ultimate Michael. Like it's everything from the classic shape, but it's brought into this new tier of of ultimateness. It's like
I know. And you know what? I was thinking about it because I understand what you're saying. And you know, we love the classics, right? But I have to say, I'm a filmmaker now. You know, I just did my first feature. And you cannot do a movie like Halloween 2 to today's generation. It has to be more pumped up. It's got to, like, you look at Halloween 2, which is a classic, and I love it, and I will always love it. And I was thinking about this last night, and look at the hospital scenes in Halloween Kills. Busyness and phones going off and people around. Look at the hospital in Halloween 2. Completely dead on Halloween night, dark. Nobody's in there. You couldn't pull that off now. People would be like, this is unrealistic. This isn't real. You know? So Michael Myers in that movie, I love Div Gore. Like, I feel like we saw him more than Halloween 1. We saw him more than Nick Castle. He came up with a lot of different things and stuff. Nick didn't do. Amazing performance. Head looked different. It was wider. Walk was a little different.
And I always loved too that in all of Halloween 2, you know, the original 78, it was, you know, Tommy Lee Wallace was in some scenes. It was like, but Dick Warlock, he was stunt coordinator and he was the shape in every shot. Yeah, no, he was Michael Myers. You really got more of a sense of Michael Myers from
Warlock. Like he was the one who really brought it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very slow moving, which
Mm-hmm.
is, like I said, it's great. I love it. 2021, 2018,
Mm-hmm.
that stuff doesn't fly. It's gotta be brought up to another level, right?
Mm-hmm.
James embodies that, but also cranks it up a notch. So I think I think he really understands and really makes it where it is Michael Myers and respects the past, but also it's to another level of violence and craziness and intensity. So yes, I agree with you on what you were saying, for sure.
Yeah, and even with Carpenter's score and how he's
Oh my gosh.
presented, and musically, sonically in the film, like the first time you see Michael's entrance in this
Yes.
film, at least the 2018 entrance, it's just, and when he
I mean,
emerges out of that house.
Yes. Could you even think that John Carpenter's score could get any better?
I know.
I was like, how does he do it?
I know.
He's keeping the original, but then adding these sounds in that you're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I could have never imagined you could have enhanced this score that was already so ingrained in my head.
I know.
And I'm like, you're incredible, man.
Yeah. I mean, so many touches, like you said, like whether it was adding the choir at certain parts or adding more electric guitar here. I mean, it was just,
or like a boom boom.
Yeah.
Like these sounds. You're like, dude, this is crazy. Oh my God. And like made me go, because sometimes you're used to a score and you're like, oh, don't change it up, don't ruin it. No, he brought it to another level, man.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the best things about these David Gordon Green movies, is that they were able to get Carpenter to come back and participate and do that, these new scores. I mean, it just really brings it back home to that Halloween 1 and 2 feel that we all love so much.
Exactly. And I think that it goes back to what I said. He's a fan. He's a fan.
Yes.
He wants to bring back the original and also bring back the people that understand it and that will get it. So it's the same thing. Exactly. Yeah.
And credit to Malik and Jason Blum and everybody that made the decision, because obviously I feel like they made the right decision. Like you, I mean, it was David Gordon Green. He's never really done something like this, but I think we see now that was a wise decision.
It's the right decision. And obviously when they had the meeting and people were pitching it, because I know people that I actually know, I've worked with somebody that pitched who's amazing, and he didn't get it. And I know several people pitched, and obviously David Gordon Green and Danny McBride came in and they saw something that was pretty special. And even if I didn't feel like at the time, I was, thinking like, that seems strange. Now we realize, okay, they're fans and they get it, and they had a great idea. So yeah. So I'm interested to see Halloween Ends, and I'm hoping that my Michael Myers opportunity does not end with kills.
There you go. It continues.
Right.
Can't kill the boogeyman. The shape will return. We know the shape will return.
And I want to return too.
He's still out there. So here we are. I mean, again, the film is #1. It's kicking ass at the box office. Amazing. And you're finally officially a part of it. You've kind of been a part of it, but now it's official. Like you are, and you're officially one of the men to step behind the Michael Myers mask, and you're part of this Michael Myers legacy now. So how does that feel?
It's just, I'm just so, I mean, I'm beyond thrilled, to be honest. Like, it's something that I just didn't, like I said before, I just didn't think it was going to happen. Like I after that Halloween Returns, I thought, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. And then for Chris Nelson and Sean to put my name in, and then for it to happen. And obviously I wish I could play the character through the whole movie, but I said many times to people, I said, you know what, just to be in that mask, man. Like, I went on set, and it's happening right now. I literally got chills down my spine. You know, I was seeing the mask, I was seeing pumpkins, I was, I was seeing the Halloween 3 masks,
Oh
from
yeah.
the park.
Yep.
And I'm looking at that going, this is insane right now. Like, I've done a lot of movies and stuff, and I don't get that feeling. And I got it on this. Because when you see something as a kid, it hits you in a different level than, when you're an adult. And this gave me that. And yeah, it's pretty incredible, man. It's just, we're fans, so you get what I'm saying. So yeah, I got like 6 Myers masks at my house, man. I got 6 different Myers masks from different people. And what's crazy is a lot of people are writing me right now, like they want to send me the Halloween Kills mask and stuff, which I don't have yet. So yeah, I might take advantage of it.
You're like, yeah, sure, you can.
Yeah,
you really
I'm like,
want to?
all right,
It's hard.
I'll take a Kills mask, And I think Chris Nelson, like, I have to give him credit because he did an amazing job on 2018 mask, all the makeup, this mask and Halloween Kills, and he freaking nailed that 1978 mask. Because that, it's funny. It's because you think that it would just be easy. Oh, it's easy. You just do this and this. But you've seen the masks throughout the series, and you see how different they are. And I gotta say, there's some terrible masks.
Yeah.
Like if you go after 2 and you go to like, 4 through, 6 and stuff, there's some not good masks.
Yeah.
Like they don't, they might be okay just off on its own if it wasn't Michael Myers, but if we're talking about trying to replicate the original, they did not nail it. And so what I've realized, it's not an easy thing to nail, and Chris did an interview about this, and it's true. And he nailed that mask, man.
Oh yeah, he did.
He nailed it.
Yeah, that's the best it's ever looked since that original, in my opinion.
Exactly.
I've never seen it look better since the original mask. I mean,
I know. Do you know that, like, and I'm sure you know this trivia, but I don't know which Halloween it was, where they actually had to do visual effects to change the look of the mask?
Oh yeah, H2O, yeah.
H2O. And that's crazy. It's a freaking mask. You know what I mean?
I know.
So to nail that,
to finally have it as perfect as it is, it's
yeah.
And
it's great because it's like a blank face. You think, oh, it should be easy, but it's not.
No. And like you said, a lot of those other films are proof that, I mean, they, even if they're great masks, they didn't nail that original.
They didn't nail it, and you know what?
They really did this time.
Chris Nelson's a fan. He's a fan, and bringing fans on to be a part of this, I think, is the most important thing to do, because you're holding the tradition of what you saw as a kid to that high level that you want this to be, and, I don't care what anybody says, there's going to be people no matter what you do that are not going to like it. But I feel like, you know what, they're doing what needs to be done to make it the best it can be, so yeah. I'm happy to be a part of this one, man, because I think it's a really great movie, and another thing that I didn't mention is like, and this is the fact that, we had the pandemic, and it was, we shot this in 2019. So the fact that you had to wait an entire year, more than a year, but now it's worth it, man. It's worth it that it happened when it was supposed to happen, because I would have hated for it to not see it in a theater, you know.
Mhm. Oh, I
Yeah,
agree. I agree. Yeah, you got to experience it in the theater for
you
the
got
first
it.
time at least. I mean,
The
that's
sound is just a whole nother level in a
it
theater,
is.
obviously, you know. And that's amazing testament to how this movie's doing, the fact that it's on Peacock and you
Yes.
could watch it from home and it's still the highest grossing movie,
Yeah.
you know. So
Well,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, I was telling my wife that earlier today, is that it's not just great for Universal and Blumhouse, obviously. I mean, it's great for movie theaters. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Michael Myers has done what no other movie really did this year and really brought people
Yeah.
back. And I'm so happy. I mean, I kind of told people, a lot of people asked me when they announced the Peacock thing, do you think it's gonna hurt box office? And I said, I don't think so, honestly. I think people that were gonna go see it before the Peacock announcement in a theater
Yeah.
are still probably gonna go see it in the theater. The only difference
Yeah.
is they might watch it again, maybe on Peacock, but
Exactly.
I think the only thing it'll change is maybe a few people that weren't gonna go see it in the theater might now watch it on Peacock,
Yeah.
which is good
Yeah.
too, because that way it'll
Yeah.
hit more people. But so I'm glad to see that that's
I
pretty
know.
much
I
the way it's
know.
played out.
And you
That's
know
the
what
way
I
was hoping
heard?
for.
You know what I heard? That Peacock has gotten the highest number of subscriptions once Halloween Kills was put on Peacock. Like
There we
they've got
go.
the most amount of people subscribing to their app from Halloween Kills. So that's
There
just
we
another
go.
testament to it.
The power of Michael Myers
Man,
is
I'm
endless.
telling you, man. I'm
This
telling you.
is that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
And I think the only other person I know is Tom Morga, who's played
Yes.
Jason and Michael. It's
Yeah,
just
so-
you two. So you are not only part of the exclusive Michael Myers club.
Yeah.
You are now one. I mean, am I right? It's just you two.
Dude, it is. I
Two
asked Sean
people in the
Clark.
history of
Yeah,
movies have worn
I
both
know.
masks on screen.
I know. So I
That's
have a lot of the Halloween fans now on my pages and on social media, and I have all the Jason fans,
of
and
course.
everybody, like all those people were like, "Oh my God, you and Tom Morga, you're the
Mhm.
only ones." And I
Yeah.
asked Sean that, and he said, "Yeah, that's it. You guys are the only ones.
That's
You guys are
amazing.
the only ones." So, I joined a list of people that that's probably, I mean, for it to happen again would be pretty rare. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
pretty awesome, exclusive, elite list to be
Yeah,
on.
elite list. And Tom Morga is a great guy. I've
Yes.
done conventions with him. He's such a nice person. So yeah. So it's exciting, man. It's exciting to be a part of this whole, because if you think about it, let's be honest, because I got a lot of people that made comments on my photos. They were like, "Dude, all you need to do is play Leatherface and you're part of the Holy Trinity." and I'm thinking, you know what? My top 3 are these. Michael Myers, number 1, horror icons. Michael
Yes.
Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, in that order. I feel like those are the top 3 horror. So to be a part of the top 2, 3, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. 2 out of 3 is pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's
Yeah, pretty good. It seals
not bad.
my convention signings for a long time, right?
Yes, I imagine so. Yeah. I imagine you'll have plenty to sign for a long time. And I know the Halloween fans are going to be welcoming you, as they already are, as you're already seeing.
It's already started. A lot of them want a lot of free things sent to them, but I'm busy, man. I don't have the time to be going to the post office every day sending you pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
Come out to the next convention appearance, right?
Yeah. Sean said, yeah, I'm starting to set stuff up. So
Oh, I'm sure.
to anybody that's listening, I'm going to start doing more conventions for sure.
Very cool. So for the Jason fans, the Michael fans, and everybody in between, there you go.
Yes. Whatever side you're on the horror spectrum, I'll be there to do either one for you. right?
Yeah. And you can
Yeah.
do both panels as well. You
I'll
can
do both panels. Yes,
you've done it all.
exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
oh man. So,
I just don't
and
want to step on James' toes because he's the Michael Myers. So
of course,
just so everyone knows, James is the man. I just got to step in for a little bit. He kills it as that character.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We couldn't agree more. And like I said, we love James. We love all of his work in both these movies, and can't wait to see the next one. Of course.
I know, man. I know.
Uh,
Yeah. They start next year, by the way. So looking
Starting in
forward.
January is what I heard. Is
Yes,
that right?
yes, that's correct. Exactly. In
Have you heard?
Atlanta. In Atlanta
Is it
where
going
I'm
to be
at
in
right now.
Atlanta? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it definitely set for Atlanta? Or
I know they shot in North Carolina the last two, but Atlanta has such a tax break, so I can't
yes,
confirm that for sure. But
it'll
that's
probably
that's
be.
the buzz I'm hearing as of now. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd heard that the Georgia was because at one time I'd heard they were going to come back to North Carolina, and then I'd heard that most recently that it was looking more like Georgia or maybe back to South Carolina. So I don't know, but
Yeah, because
Atlanta makes sense.
Rob shot his in Georgia and
That's
Atlanta.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, his Halloween too. Yep, that's right.
exactly. Yeah. So
So before we go, can you tell us a little bit about your feature film that you have recently directed? What can you tell us about that?
yeah, I mean, I can't really talk much about it just because it's being looked at by some sales agents and some big horror studios,
Okay.
production companies. So no deal's been made yet, but it's called Angel Baby as of now, and it's my first feature directorial debut. And I would love to come back on with you
Mm-hmm.
when I can talk more about it so that I could speak about it. But my wife, Isabel Cueva, stars in it, produces it. She's amazing in it. I have Rebecca De Mornay is in it
Awesome.
from Hand That Rocks a Cradle, Risky
Yep.
Business. Daniel
Mm-hmm.
Roebuck's in it.
Oh,
Who's
we
in
love Daniel
Hunters.
Roebuck.
Yeah. So, that's all I could really say about it right now. But
Okay.
I would love to talk more about it when I could share more information,
Sure.
because right now it's kind of in a place where I can't really speak about it. But I have to say, as far as not talking about the film, I learned so much from, being on the other side of the camera, that I think it's making me a better actor.
Mm-hmm.
And you just learn so many different aspects
Oh yeah.
of filmmaking that you don't think about as an actor. And man, it's a lot of work. I mean, I
Definitely.
worked on that thing, like we shot it a while ago, and then COVID hit, and then we needed to do pickups and stuff, and we couldn't do it because it was just too hard to do it during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally got them done, and then we finished it a month ago, and so yeah, I mean, was a really great experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and and your Halloween Film Festival, you had The Haunt,
Yes. Oh yeah. One of
it's
our
cool.
favorites.
And
Absolutely.
I'm
Award winner as
still,
well.
yes, it was award winner.
Yep.
I'm working on that now that I finished my feature.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
trying to put time in developing more of that to try to get it sold,
Yeah.
and hopefully have a series of The Haunt. The Haunt is so guys, was at the Halloween Film Festival, which Matt Arts runs.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome festival. And it's a series about a group of people working at a local haunted house in Ohio, a year-round haunt, and all the situations that happen. It's like an Office style, Waiting for Guffman half-hour comedy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It
So
was great. It was hilarious. I can't wait to see more.
yeah,
We
thank
need
you.
a haunt, the haunt series. We need that.
We need it, man. Come on. We're all Halloween fans here. There's so much we can do with it, so
Oh
yeah.
man, so much you could do with it,
Wow.
especially with all your connections in the
Oh my gosh.
industry and everything. I could see so many guest stars
Yeah.
popping in,
Oh my
even like
gosh, so
hot
many. I'm friends with
personalities.
Tony Todd wanted to do my movie, but couldn't do it because he was busy on a play in New York. So he was going to be in my movie.
Oh
But I
wow.
know so many,
Yeah.
Kane Hodder, and
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of guys. Jeff Daniel Phillips, who's in
Mm-hmm.
Monsters and stuff.
Yep.
These are the guys I want to bring in on my show. And you know what? I've learned so much, and time has gone by that it would even be better now. Like I have a lot more contacts, and the whole thing would be better now than it was 5 years ago or whenever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still, yeah, I mean, I just love the idea of a comedy set in a haunt, because we have a lot of horror movies set in haunts, and a lot of them are really great, but it's kind of a novel concept to take this approach. And then, like you said, to have it kind of set up like The Office, where it's very just kind of, documentary style, and awkward, and hilarious.
Yes. Well, we get into like, see because it comes from my experience where I was working at Halloween Horror Nights and stuff. And of course you got the horror of it, which is cool, and you're in character, but there's so much comedy that I saw, and that's where the idea sparked.
Yeah.
There's so much hilarious stuff that I saw that I was dying. I couldn't believe it, and you get all that Halloween that we love, and then you're gonna get that horror Halloween, the fun stuff. But nobody's killing each other, because who kills somebody at a haunted house? I mean, we see that in the horror movies, like you said, because that's the twist, but that's not reality. The reality is it's comedy, because these people are characters, right? So that's what I want to bring with this, to make something that you haven't seen before,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see more. So definitely keep us in the loop on that.
I will. I kind of took a break because I was working so much, and now
you have been busy.
Yeah, now that I directed the movie, it's kind of like inspired me to go, oh my gosh, we gotta make this happen. And now I have more contacts and people that are interested in hearing what's next. So it actually opens more doors for me. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
Well, before we go, because I know you love Halloween, do you have plans for this Halloween? What do you anticipate you're going to be doing
right
this
now?
Halloween?
I'm on a TV series called Legacies. It's on the CW. And I gotta say, man, since I've been out here, I've been going to every haunted house in the area. I just went to Netherworld, which was amazing. That's been around since '85. I went to this Village Haunt, which is at the Renaissance Fair, where they had me there as a guest and stuff. And as far as I'm going to be home before Halloween, and I haven't set up any plans yet, but I can't wait to get home and like all my stuff. I got like a whole attic full of stuff, and my wife hasn't brought it down. They're waiting for me, and the kids are waiting. So I'm going to go there and set it up and see what's going on out there. I'd like to do some stuff in LA, but we'll see. But no big plans as of now. I think this whole Michael Myers thing has been so awesome that we'll see where that takes me this Halloween. Maybe there's some events and stuff I could check out. Maybe go by the original house in Pasadena or something.
There you go. Go trick or treating at the Myers house on Halloween.
Exactly.
I'm sure that'll be a happening spot that night.
Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly.
And I love that you'll be home for Halloween, home for the holidays. First, it's home for Halloween. That's the important one. You'll be home, and I love that the family waits to bring out the decorations. So you're all together. That warms my Halloween heart.
I know. I mean, the only reason they wait is because they can't lift all the boxes down the ladder.
You were going to say that.
So, otherwise, they would have it out right now. So they're waiting for the strong guy to come do it.
That sounds familiar around here. Like who's going up in the attic and bring down all the boxes?
Of course. And I got so much stuff that it's like overwhelming. Yeah. So
we're the same. We got so much. We got a ton that we leave out year round, and then we got a ton more for the season
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And Ian, you know, Ian's pumpkin carvings.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know who he is. He just did a awesome Michael Myers pumpkin based off the mask I wore. And
Cool.
I gotta represent that out
Yeah.
front on Halloween. It was
Oh,
amazing.
hell yeah.
He did a great job. Yeah.
Awesome.
so-
Yeah, we follow him on Instagram. He does great, awesome
Oh,
work
I
all the
love him.
time.
He's a great guy. Great guy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, this has been great, man. I
It's been
mean,
amazing. It's so fun to talk to fans that are
yeah,
like-minded about this whole franchise because we're on the same page, obviously. You know, that's why it just flows.
yeah, yeah. And especially right now, I mean, the movie's still fresh in my mind. It's probably fresh in your. I mean,
Oh,
we're
it's so
just,
fresh.
you know, all geeked on the movie right now
So
and
geeked.
hyped on
So
having
geeked.
finally seen it after, like you said, a
No.
2-year wait.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it's amazing. And so yeah, this has just been fun talking to you and finally getting the inside story about Halloween Returns and your involvement in Halloween Kills. And I'm so happy, you know, for you that it finally worked out, that you
Yeah, man.
finally
I mean,
did get your time behind the mask, and it's
yes.
official. And
Yes.
you are one of the Michaels now. You are official one of the Shakes.
I'm just so, man, it's just so awesome. And I've said this word surreal because it really is.
Yeah.
It's surreal when you grow up seeing something that you love and then being a part of it. It's just mind blowing, you know. So I'm very, very excited that this is a start, and you know, hopefully there'll be more. We'll see. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Buddy.
Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. It was a pleasure. Good talking to you, Matt.
Yes, sir. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.